papers, there's a story about one woman who, after the death of her mum, discovered that her father was left with absolutely no cooking skills whatsoever. The kitchen had also been Miranda Gardner's mother's domain, and her dad couldn't even poach an egg. Instead, he relied on microwave meals and beans on toast. So Miranda jotted down recipes, and those jottings have now been published in a new book. So, over the years, have we had to teach our own parents things that they didn't know?
Well, we've had a very similar story in our family, actually, to this one, because my lovely mother-in-law passed away, and she wasn't expected to die first because she was 10 years younger than my father-in-law. And he was a farmer and had always just been in the fields, and she was the traditional farmer's wife, and she'd done all the cooking, and her domain, like, you know, has been said, was the house. And so, because she knew she was going to die, because she had lung cancer, she decided to teach him everything he'd need to know to be able to live independently. And she taught him basic recipes, she taught him how to hoover and dust, and he was so proud of the fact that he was able to do that after she passed away. It kept him going for another 7 years. He didn't die till he was 94, which was wonderful. And he wouldn't let anybody help him, you know. He said, no, I'm doing this for Joan. And he'd cook his... I'm going to start me off in a minute. It was great. But as for my own mum, teaching your own parents, my mum was our school secretary when I was little. And we had a flu epidemic, and a lot of the teachers were off. And so my mum had to step up and teach our class, which was very embarrassing, let me tell you. And I had to call her Mrs. Garrett, and, you know, and I wasn't... no special favours. Anyway, she had to teach a maths lesson. Oh, and I could see she was shuffling her papers about and looking a bit worried. And she said, Leslie Garrett, approach the desk. What have I done now? You know, mum's going to tell me off. Anyway, I got up to the desk, and she lifted the book up like this so nobody else could see, you know, in the class. And she said, Leslie, what exactly are decimals? She did. So I told her a quick 2-minute, you know, lesson for my mum on decimals, and then I had to leave the desk saying, I'm very sorry, Mrs. Garrett, I won't do that again. You know, went back to me. And then she taught the whole class decimals. I was so proud of her. She did it like, you know, she'd been doing it all her life.
I'll tell you what I've always tried to teach my mum is to text.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, now, listening. Now, you see, that's a telltale sign. No, but the thing is, isn't it difficult to teach somebody to text?
Yes.
Because, you know, I can't see the numbers. It's Braille as far as I'm concerned. And the thing is, she can't get the... Sorry, Mum. She can't get the hang of it at all. She can't get the hang of text. But Keely, my daughter Keely, taught me about my laptop and to save and save as. What? So I can save and save as. So I've got it in duplicate.
Brilliant.
So I'm really... And I'm very proud of that. And Keely taught me to say that. Yeah, so Keely's taught me a lot about things like that, but I pretend to know. And I go, yes.
Well, I taught my mum how to text. She does all those emoticons, you know, the little thing. She's really fancy with it. But emoticon... No, never mind. Let's not go there. But my mum, and you might not know this, but I've always lived with my mum, Jean. Yeah.
Whoa. No, I've always lived with my mum, Jean.
No way!
Yeah, you've got a mum called Jean.
My mum's... And I've always lived with her.
And you've always lived with her?
I've always lived with her, mum, yeah.
And we're both from up north? What?
Yeah, but I... Including when I've been married.
Hang on,
so have I.
You lived with... Hang on. You both lived with your mums when you were married. How many divorces do you two have between you?
2.
2.
4.
Oh, my God.
I rest my case.
1 and in a minute. One and in a minute.
One and
That is bizarre. Just carry on, Carol. Sorry,
Okay, so I was floored. My mum, Jean, who I lived with, and she's, well, she's 81 at the moment, she's nearly 82, and she's always kind of well put together and everything, my mum, she's lovely. But when she heard, it was probably in about 1979, the first ping of the microwave. That was it. She's never used a cooker hob since. No, and I am not joking. Off she goes, ready meals, in they go. Oh, and I've cooked you a nice meal, love. And that is my mum. And I have now taken up that role. I don't do cooking. I do burning to various degrees.
Blue haze coming out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
We've got that in common as well.
You don't do cooking.
But saying that, that's where our mums... I don't do cooking. We must go out for a drink, Carol. But my mum is the best cook in the world, I have to say that. So that's why I kept her with me, because I'd have starved to death. But the one thing I have taught my mother is, because she used to just wash her face in soap and then put Pond's cream on, that was it.
Yeah, Pond's cream. Yeah,
Years and years. But now I've taught her to... No, you've got to cleanse, tone and moisturise. And she's got into that now. And also buying clothes that are too big for her. She still thinks that she might grow into them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elasticated waistbands. Oh, lovely. Your mum Jean, my mum Jean. Right.